Tonight, dance heats up the ice, and the field is wide open. For the first time in history, North American teams could dominate the podium. U.S. champs Davis and White have won every event they've entered this season. Their teammates, Belbin and Augusto, are reigning world and Olympic silver medalists. The Americans will take on a talented Canadian team on home ice. And the reigning world champs. Ice dancing begins tonight.
All right, Tom Hammond taking us through that ice dancing competition beginning tonight. The Oracle, who else? Dick Button joins us. So we mentioned the American contenders, 3 teams, but 2 of them are medal contenders. What do you think of their chances?
Well, let me just say that whatever their chances are, they're going to be wonderful chances, but they're marvelous skaters. I mean, they grab you. Let me ask you a question. What do you remember out of all of the best skating that you've seen? You remember what performances, not of just ice dancers, but of anybody?
Right. Well, you and I were there in 1984.
Yes.
In Sarajevo, Yugoslavia.
What was it that you remembered out of Torvill and Dean?
I remember how incredible it was, and it may have been the signature event of those Olympics.
It was absolutely. But you remember the impact of it. And it's the impact of any performance, including ice dancers, that makes you remember it. And that's what you don't necessarily remember a quadruple jump, but you do remember the impact of the performance and the personality and their whole ambiance that they project to you. That's a performance, and that's what you remember. And that's what we're going to see in the ice dancing.
Which team do you expect will win the gold medal?
I don't like to give projections, but I will tell you something that I am marvelously impressed, in particular by Davis and White. I thought their 2 performances, first the original dance and then the free dance, were just special. They got to me, and I tell you, I just hope that they can do that here. This was all a thing about Phantom of the Opera, and it was just, that's an old horse, you know, chestnut of music, but it's a chestnut because it's great music. And it's great for skating. It fits. And the performance they gave, the choreography of it, it was mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. It was to me. I hope it is here, too. I hope I get the same reaction.
You've heard through the years, we're going to take a look at the other team right now with Belbin and Augusto. Let's take one peek at them and just give me a little thumbnail about what you expect from them.
I expect very, very superb skating. They're really marvelous. They're elegant. They've got, they work together so beautifully. They're also right up there at the top. It's just that the program, the concept, the performance of Davis and White was what got me even more than this. I think it's their choice of music that that Davis and White hit that these guys haven't quite reached the same level. They're right up there at the top. They're Olympic caliber. But it's the other 2 that really shone for me.
Dick, you've heard for years there are people that sit out there and go, that's not a sport. It's a show. It's an exhibition.
Well, I'd just like them to tell me what is a sport. And if they'll tell me what is a sport, I'll be happy to define it. If you remember correctly, and you want to get to the point of it, if you go back to the old Olympics, even back to the original periods of time, what are the sports you'd have to get rid of synchronized swimming. You'd have to get rid of synchronized gymnastics. Right. You'd have to get rid of dressage, diving. What else is there? I mean, there's all these sports that are right in there that are judgmental sports.
And you don't need a penalty box for it to be a sport, right?
No, and you don't need to slug somebody and knock them out. Right. Although I must say, some of the Russians are trying to do that right now, having lost the men's single skate. Don't get me started on that.
We'll have plenty of time to keep on going. Have a great time tonight. Dick Button with us, and you can see ice dancing in prime time.